This is the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Core Class Rattrap. And this is probably the most sought after figure, at least one of the most sought after figure for the first wave of Kingdom figures. I picked up this figure from Hobby Corner. And here is Rattrap out of packaging. And boy, is this figure tiny, but I like it. It's a well-detailed, well-engineered, teeny tiny legend-scaled or Legends class figure, or the core class, I should say, right about now, because that's what they're calling this scale of figures. And I wouldn't blame Hasbro, because this is how small Rattrap should be compared to, say, the bigger Beast Wars Transformers like Cheetor, Primal, Megatron, Dinobot, and all that. He was a rat, and as such, even on the show, he was diminutive in size, and rightly so, Hasbro chose to give him their smallest scaled rendition for a Transformers figure for the Kingdom line. I like this figure. He's not super accurate, although when you look at him, he kind of evokes a lot of that accurate look to Beast Wars. If you remember the old cartoon Rattrap, he looks something like this. This is the computer back in the day. It was a thing. It was like cutting edge type of technology. And as you can clearly see, the beige or brown mustard type of plastic does not match the gold one. The feet are obviously different. Look at the legs. These are robotic rat legs, and he's got the beast foot, 4 feet, and the unpainted shins and lower legs. And if you look at this one, there's a lot more technology. There are a lot more robot parts you can clearly see from the original CGI render compared to the robot. The Legends Takaratomi Rattrap, as well as the Hasbro IDW Thrilling 30 Rattrap, was actually a pretty good rendition of Rattrap, and he was very close to how he looked like in the CGI, except that the proportions were different. Just the head's just way too big. The kibble was okay, but it was a good attempt, and I actually like this one. The only problem with this one is he was just way too big. The old Beast Wars toy was just horrible. I actually never had a chance to get this one, but when I saw it, I just said, no, I'm not going to get this figure, because it doesn't look like the Rattrap we saw on the show. And this one, for all intents and purposes, is as good as it gets, folks. And I'm just very pleased with it. He may not be super accurate, but this is a very good Rattrap figure, especially in robot mode. And I love the scale. I love what they've done with this one. Really, really amazing work on this one by Hasbro and Takaratomi. Now let's look at some of the details of the figure. You can see a little bit of that. I don't know if you can clearly see it. It's a Maximal logo right there on his arm. Very cool. The head sculpt is great. The teeth, they kind of missed that. They gave him Dracula fangs instead of that bucktooth rat teeth that he had on the show. But the head sculpt, the eyes, the chin, the whole areas of his cheekbones and the head, it just evokes so much Rattrap. The way the kibble goes, this is how it was in the toy, not so much in the cartoon. I like the fact that they're trying to combine elements of the cartoon and the toy into this new rendition in the Generations line. Now the feet, I think I can easily forgive this. There was no other way to do this. It was going to be very difficult to transform if he had a cybernetic foot versus the animal foot. So okay, forgivable. I think that was the only way they could do it. The blaster, it's a little thin, but it's as accurate the way it looks. It's got a lot of aesthetic that's very accurate to how it looked like on the show. Should have been a little bit thicker by a bit, but I'm not complaining about that. I think it's pretty cool. You see this nice rat head just tucked in nicely on his chest, and it doesn't interfere with any of the articulation. The proportion, I think, is so nice. It's a great proportion. It doesn't interfere with the robot mode and doesn't detract from the overall aesthetic. You clearly see a nice silhouette of the robot mode despite all the kibble. The IDW version, Hasbro and Takara had the tail sticking out right here. It wasn't as great. This one neatly hides the tail on the back. Wish they could have painted it, but they didn't. If at all, it's just missing some critical paint apps, which would have made it more accurate to the cartoon. And for some size comparisons, here is Rattrap with Legends Brawn from Titan's Return, as well as the Universe Legion class or Legends class Optimus Prime. So transformation, it looks like it's going to be simple enough, but they put a lot of engineering, so it's pretty involved, but not annoying at the same time. So get rid of the blaster. If you want to store the blaster in robot mode, you can plug it in right here. I thought it was pretty cool. Very nicely hidden. Take that off. First thing you want to do the arms. And do is you rotate, not fold, but rotate the arms upwards like this. And then you want to kind of rotate the elbows like this. 90 degrees like that, and sort of bend them a little bit so that when you fold them down like this, the entire shoulder assembly is going to fold down like this, and then that sort of groove is going to snap in and tab onto that tab right there. And if you fold the elbows like this, they're not in the way when you transform the legs. So do the same on the other side. Do that. You want to do the legs. Legs are kind of tricky. It's a ball joint. Most of the joints are, you can clearly see they're ball joints, swivel neck, but the feet, apart from having these ball joints, they've got an extra ball joint right here on the shin. And that's because you want to be able to do this. You want to be able to bend those legs like this and sort of shorten them so that they'll fit like rat legs. Okay, and then rotate and face the feet in this direction, like this. Okay, like that. And they're just going to stay there for a while. They're going to tab in somewhere, but for now, put them in that position. Okay, and then what you want to do is the head. You want to rotate that head like that and unpeg this whole section right here, the back kibble right here. Just do it that way. Hinge it up so that there's enough clearance for the head to fold in like that, and you'll reveal the rat head, the beast head. Okay, then what you want to do is unclip this tail section right here, fold out that tail, and then this is kind of tricky. You want to fold the lower part of that backpack like this, and as you do that, you want to fold this entire section right. Oh, it's come undone. You want to fold this entire side of the rat like this. Okay, and then these legs, they've got some slots. You're supposed to tab those in to the wings or the backpack wings like that. And then you're going to angle up those knee hinges like this and like that to form the hind legs of the rat or the beast. And then this rear end is supposed to tab onto everything like the arms like that. And do the same on the other side. And they're supposed to tab onto those knees like that. To make sure everything's flush. And then the tail, okay, like that. And there you go. There is Rattrap in his beast mode. It's actually a pretty cool rat mode or mouse mode. There are no articulation for beast mode. The tail can barely move up and down. The head doesn't really move or anything like that because you're gonna snap off this top part, so it just stays like that. Arms, front legs, and the hind legs don't really move. You can move the feet because they're on ball joints, but that's it. There's really no articulation in rat mode. It's sort of like a static beast mode, which is fine. I mean, they did all they could have done in terms of engineering, but they didn't want to sacrifice the aesthetic of the alt mode, and as such, it looks pretty static, but it looks great. I'm happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. The gun, the instructions say you can use this tab right here and you slot it right there. It's not as hidden as you want it to be, but I felt that it should have been placed somewhere here. If you try and, yeah, something like that. Come on, okay. You could literally just keep it there. If you don't move him too much, that gun is going to stay hidden right there in beast mode. So yeah. And so some final thoughts on Rattrap. I think it's a great rendition of Rattrap. I love the scale. I love the engineering they've put on this one. I was pleasantly surprised that I like this figure a lot. I wasn't prepared or expected so much for this figure. I wasn't prepared to really like it as much as I thought I would. I thought it was just going to be, okay, fine, it's great. I'm going to keep him for a while so I can complete all the maximals. But I really love it. If this is a sign of what's yet to come, I am so into this Kingdom line. Initially, I was just into the Kingdom line for the remaining Earthrise Transformers, the G1 Transformers figures that we're just waiting for, just to complete the Earth mode versions of the characters. But now that I've seen firsthand how Hasbro has rendered and has done and has executed beautifully the first character for the Beast Wars line, Rattrap, I am so excited now to get the other figures from the Kingdom line. The figure is going to get a 9 out of 10 for me. I absolutely enjoyed it. It is an absolute must-have if you are a big fan of the Beast Wars cartoon back in the day. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this Kingdom Rattrap. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. And if you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching.